There you go.
You think Crawford can knock Canelo down?
Um, I'm leaning more Canelo gets the knockdown, but
Oh,
I don't put it past Crawford with his 10 or 11 straight knockouts. We see that he was a bit, a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon because he didn't get a knockout over Madrimov, but it's a new division, testing the waters.
right.
Madrimov had a funny style. Canelo is
Uh-huh.
more stationary than Madrimov, and he doesn't give you as many feints as Madrimov. So hopefully
Right.
he doesn't have Crawford overthinking the situation and instead letting them hands go.
Man, if if Crawford does that to Canelo, the stratosphere is open. I just think Canelo is he could punch. He's never been stopped. He got he done fought all the best. He done seen the best, been hit by the biggest, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight though. I'm surprised, man. I'm glad they're doing that, bro.
Me too. I'm
But I
shocked it's
like I
actually
like
happening,
Canelo.
man.
Yeah, yeah, and Crawford just jumped what, two weight classes, three
Well,
weight classes up.
he moved up one. He's already moved up three. Yes, he started at 35, went to 40, 47, 54.
Wow, that's crazy.
I
But
mean,
look,
don't forget,
I'm excited.
don't forget that Canelo started at 140, went to 47, 54, 60, 68,
Oh, I
75.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I just learned something else today about boxing.
Yeah, he won a couple of
That's
like
good.
regionals at 47. His first real belt, I want to say, was
Mm-hmm.
at 54, and
Right.
then 60 and 68.
Nice. Yeah, that turkey, I would say, man, he's doing some stuff. He's doing some making the best fight the best, or giving them opportunities to fight the best, and that's what it's about. We all want to see. That's what they did back in the day. Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran, but in this generation, we got to push it, and Turkey doing it. So I'm good, man. I love it. I love all that shit.
Uh, I know you're not working with Regis anymore, but he does
Hmm.
have the Oscar Duarte fight. Have you heard if he's brought in a new strength and conditioning coach, or is he not going to have that for this fight? Because
I,
that's a
I,
tough fight, man. Duarte's no joke.
Ness, I have no idea. All I'm doing is concentrating on where I'm going in 2025. I had a great one with Regis, and we'll see what happens next for him and myself. So I don't really. It's going to be a good fight, but I really don't give a crap about it,
Mm.
honestly.
And what's the deal with Michaela? I seen that I don't know if that's an old video, but I thought I seen her
No,
training in DLX.
no, she's
Okay.
back, and I'll probably real soon, but she's back. She's
Nice.
back doing the thing.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah, she's back. It's gonna be a good fight for her.
So have they announced her match?
I know she's getting ready for Ness. Look, I just stay in my lane.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for something, and when they say it's time to go, I'm going.
All right.
So
All right.
I don't know, but I'm
I
looking
know
forward
she's
to
been
it.
calling out a few people, man. She's even interested in fighting her own friend Clarissa, which I like. If I'm your friend, help me
I,
make some money.
listen, honestly, I've been pushing. I work with Hannah too. When Hannah won her
Gabriel's?
heavyweight, her light heavyweight. Yeah,
I just spoke to her
Gabriel.
yesterday. I didn't know you worked with her too. I was just talking to her,
Yeah,
trying to get her on the show. Yeah, man. She's
Hannah. I work with Hannah. And there's only a couple of girls I think that could give Clarissa some change, and Hannah is one of them,
mm-hmm.
and Michaela is the other one. I believe that these girls are not afraid of Clarissa. Now Clarissa is a monster, but she already won the fight before she get to the damn ring because all the girls are afraid of her.
Yeah.
And I don't think these two girls are afraid of her. So yeah, it would be nice to see them get to a point where they could. That'll be a mega fight, and they would make a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So I'm shoot, make the fight happen. You know, it's like everybody
If
want to
you
see Shakur and Davis.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll have a fight. They're like really good friends. But hey, Turkey making stuff happen.
He sure is. But I'll tell you one thing. I think that Keyshawn is more willing than Shakur. And when push comes to shove and that money is offered, we'll get reports
Mm-hmm.
that he was willing to
Right.
do it.
Right.
I,
Well, you know, it's funny. I'll tell you one thing. I had an opportunity to work with Keyshawn Davis as well.
mm,
And when I tell you, I've done some athletic things with him. I've not seen a lot of, maybe none of the boxers get close to his athleticism. And he's mean. He's technical. His IQ is up. So man, he's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'd like to see him with some real competition. You know.
well, he's going for his first world title shot on Valentine's, so that in itself, that's some real competition. His last fight, fantastic fight, certainly a worthy opponent in Gustavo Lemos. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm interested to see, and he says the right things. I love after that fight he called out Tank, and he's got all of Tank's
Mm-hmm.
attention. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people want him to fight Tank just because
Mm-hmm.
he's aggressive in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I don't think Tank Davis has, he hadn't seen that type of progression, and somebody that's not going to back down, who really has, some of the same IQ that he has himself. So that's a good ass fight. Will it
So,
happen?
Coach,
I think it'll happen.
where are you at now? Where are you stationed at, and who you working with?
I live in Houston. I live in
Okay,
Houston,
okay.
so I'm out here in the big city. I've been
Damn,
here over 20 years, man.
have you ever tried to go to James Prince Gym, see if you could get some work?
Oh, I've worked some athletes out there before, but
Okay.
I don't. My Jenny trains over there, and then she just comes sees me for conditioning.
Oh, Jenny Futz.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she trains over there. Yeah, but yeah, I've been to the Prince gym, but everybody got their own athletes, man. And
Nah, for sure.
boxing is one of those funny things, and
But you know how it
I'm
is, man. You seem to be a great networker. You know how it is. You got to get out there and
yeah,
move and
yeah,
shake and once
yeah,
people know your
yeah,
name, then eventually
yeah,
they
yeah,
call on you, man. But there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
gyms out there. You got Ronnie, he's
Yeah.
also in Houston.
I had some
Charlos.
of his I had some of his people too.
Okay.
I've been knowing the Charlos since they were babies. They went to the same church.
Nice. So you know their dad?
But yeah, I know him. I know their dad too. We deacon at our church.
Okay.
They
That's
have
pretty
plenty.
interesting.
They had plenty of opportunity to work with me, but I'm right here in the city, and during that time, I was still working with Reese, won world titles and everything. They had his own thing.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna disrespect another coach. You know what I mean?
No, of course not. Of course not. Just seeing,
So
just trying to see who you working with out there in Houston since you're out there.
yeah, I'm just working with Jenny right now, man, until this thing come up. So we got 2 world titles last year, and I'm ready to roll, man. Whoever wants that work,
So
I'm down.
your time with Greer was just temporary. That was you guys were just filling each other
Yeah.
out.
So honestly, I don't know man. We was getting ready for a fight, and when I tell you, Josh, man, the kid worked his ass off, and then I think a fight fell out, and we never talked again. Again, I'm in my lane. I don't handle his business. I don't know who's making his fights. I just do the conditioning for the kid, and then all of a sudden he disappeared, and I hadn't talked to him. I don't know. What a talented kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't dig in that, and and this stuff is so clicky sometimes, man. People make deals and it don't work with the fighters, and you know, it just falls off like it did. But shit, I loved working with Josh.
I gotta ask, man, as a strength and conditioning coach, how do you prepare someone's body to move up 3 divisions? Right, like
Mm.
hypothetically, if Boots Ennis came to you and said, I want to hire you, I want to fight Crawford at 68 because he's going to beat Canelo, how do you get a guy prepared? How do you know how many years it'll take him to, get there naturally, safely, and be actually effective?
Well, it's really something that can't happen like right away. So what happens is I would take an athlete like that and let his body not whatever these guys weigh on the off season. I would take that and work with that and just keep working at that level. Most of the guys that have to grow up, and I say grow up, I mean like their body, they naturally get a little heavier. So you kind of figure out a way to work with that natural weight. And a lot of people, a lot of fighters are confused about weight training. Weight training is not going to help you in boxing get bigger. It's going to slow you down. So there's ways. I can't give up the game, but there's ways to make that muscle. A guy like Crawford, Crawford is like physically strong. He does all that extra stuff out of the boxing ring. So you got to find ways naturally to build these athletes up. It's not about being bigger. It's about being stronger and carrying that strength throughout the whole entire fight. So you got to give the muscles a little more endurance, certain ways to do that, and you got to make them comfortable with that weight. So it's easy. It's going to be easier for Crawford if they do the right things for him to handle that weight because they don't move at that weight. You know, they either come down and then they only get a chance to do that for 35, 36 minutes. So yeah, I would. It's a natural progression, and whatever their weight is outside of the weight class that they're coming from, you
Now,
work with that.
now typically, exclude the names. You know, let's forget that Crawford is who he is and Canelo is who he is. Let's just talk two random guys. What's the level of success rate that you would give someone moving up 3 and 2 divisions to fight anyone? Or does each situation, is it situational because every individual is individual and he has characteristics that the other one doesn't?
Yeah, it's situational. It's situational, and that situational can cover a lot of ground. And we talking about, can the person handle the power? Can the person move the same with extra weight? You know, it's so many factors, but those are the main things. Do you have enough strength to move up? And can you handle the impact of someone that's naturally way heavier than you? Now, statistic wise, that you're at a disadvantage coming up 2 and 3 weight classes because you've never used that weight and you've not hit even in sparring, you know. So it's very important that you take these athletes, these fighters, and put them in positions physically to handle that. So it's situational, man. That's a really good way to put that. All over the situational. We could talk about mentally, physically, all that.
Do you believe that Crawford is capable of handling Canelo's weight? I mean, maybe a year and a half ago, Eddie Reynoso went to the WBC convention asking Mauricio to approve Canelo to move up from 68 to cruiserweight to fight then WBC
Mm-hmm.
champion Junior Makabu. I mean, these guys,
Mm-hmm.
they don't challenge themselves the way that Canelo does. Is his
Mm-hmm.
frame just bigger than most? I mean, because we've seen him fight at
Well,
75 and knock someone out. We've seen him fight at Bivol and not get knocked out. He just
mm-hmm.
seems like a little action figure as well.
Well, it's funny. I met Canelo in 2019 in Saudi Arabia. Now Canelo has a body that has physically the physical upsize. He could fight at light heavy. He could fight at cruiserweight because he has wide shoulders. He has thick muscle bellies, so he can carry that weight. And with a guy like Canelo, he's going to be stronger. The more he goes up, the more he comes down, he'll be weaker. A guy like Crawford, I don't know if he's going to be able to handle that because Canelo can come in the night of the fight 175, close to 180 pounds. 180 pounds of power and speed uh, uh, with a guy coming up from 150. That's 25 pounds. of a guy like Canelo that could bang and still has the speed and power at that weight. I mean, it's a difficult task, but I give a guy like Crawford all his talent and a chance because he could box.
Let me. I'm
Will
sorry.
Canelo be able to cut the ring off and bang? Because the ring's not going to be that big, I don't think. So
Yeah, I mean, it'll
it's
be a
it's it's
ring
difficult.
certainly to favor Canelo as the A side, and he's already done an interview where he made it clear that he feels Crawford is a mover, so I'm sure he'll
Mm-hmm.
ask for a smaller ring. I do want to ask though, do you believe that Crawford could? Well, first of all, did you watch the Edgar Berlanga and Canelo fight? And were you aware that Berlanga came in over 200 pounds?
I saw the fight, and Belanga, he's definitely not a Crawford. He's not Crawford, but he held his own, and Canelo couldn't get him out of there. But so now we got to switch that. We got to switch that. That's going to be Crawford being a lighter guy, and Canelo being the 200 pounder, but at 175, 180. So the question is going to be, can Crawford handle that power?
Wait,
You
so you
know,
think Canelo's only going up to 180, 175 on fight night?
I'm giving him that, but he may be heavier.
Yeah, no, I
You
think
just
he's
don't know.
heavier. I think he's heavier. If Berlanga ballooned up to 200, but my
Yeah.
question is, if they made Terrence Bud Crawford Edgar Berlanga tomorrow, who wins?
Crawford wins.
Okay,
Because you
decision,
remember,
knockout.
look, now, I think he knocks Belanga out because
Wow.
let's look at the body sizes. Belanga is a big guy, right? But he doesn't have a what I call a sprinter's body. He doesn't have the muscle fiber, the fast twitch as a guy like Terrence Crawford. Canelo has that big size
Let me
and he has the
let me slow
fast
you down
twitch.
there, just so because I don't really get that, and I'm sure there's others. So when you say he doesn't have the muscle twitch, is because you're physically looking at him with your eyes. So are we looking for leaner fighters? Are leaner fighters the ones that have the muscle twitch that you're speaking of? And Berlanga's doesn't have it because he's not as lean. He's more, muscular, but he's like not lean, right?
Absolutely. He also carries more fat. I could look at him and tell him he carries more fat. If a guy like a guy like Belango in the off season, his face is fat, his neck, all his weight goes to the chest, to the neck, to the face. A guy like Canelo, you could pick a guy like Canelo and a kid like Keyshawn Davis. You know what I'm saying? Physically, they move, they quick and they're powerful. Speed is power. You can't just, that ain't something you can develop it, but it takes a time. So Crawford would be much faster, and that speed, that quickness turns into power. So I think he knocks him out.
Curveball question here. Deontay Wilder was the definition of lean. I mean, I remember being next to him and not understanding that I'm 6'5", he's 6'7". Back then, I'm like 248,
Mm-hmm.
254, 245, and he still
Mm-hmm.
looked bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Muscular, more muscular than me. He just, was he considered fast twitch? And do you think he lost it, or did he not lose it? And is it all mental? And is that fast twitch, muscle still there? Because he did used to have one of the quickest releasing right hands, but now it could be just mental, where it's, he can't let that right hand go because mentally there's a block.
Well, see, now we're talking about Deontay Wilder, who had a tremendous upper body, right? And he knocked out 40 people, maybe 30 people he's supposed to knock out. Now, that's real talk. Now, if you work on a guy like Deontay Wilder, he was unbalanced. He never had any legs, but he's one of those guys that has a lot of fast twitch muscles. So I believe if Deontay Wilder had more leg power, and he banked a lot on the right hand, and at this professional level, at the world class level, you got guys that'll take that away, and then what do you have? So physically, he's that guy. He could probably run the 400 meters. He could probably run 100. But
Coach,
yeah, he was.
from your experience, right? Because obviously this is what you do. We as boxing fans, we use our eyes and we automatically give opinions based off that. But you're a professional in this business. So does things like genetics truly matter? Because people would look at Wilder and say he doesn't have balance, he doesn't have legs, he needs to work on his legs. But is that not just genetics? Like I I watched him. I used to be. I went to 7 of his camps, bro. Like I know he was in the strength and conditioning gym. I know they were working on legs. Is it just a matter of they weren't using heavy enough weight to make those legs get bigger, or genetically he just can't get bigger?
Well, it's not even about getting bigger. It's about having the power and the speed. And you get a guy like Deontay. I don't. And Deontay Wilder, the conditioning coach, was a former track and field guy, a hurdler. Joey ran the hurdles.
Yeah,
So
Joey. He's
what?
very
Yeah, Wilder.
capable.
I honestly believe that Wilder kind of ran his own camp, because I can't believe I wouldn't think that a guy like Joey wouldn't have him doing plyos. I saw them lifting a lot of weight. Bench pressing does not carry over to boxing. It's stationary. Boxers need functional movements. They need to be moving. If you're going to do bench, you have to do dumbbells. The bar has nothing to do with it. And you notice when he got hit, his legs gave out. I mean, like, you couldn't recover. So that tells me that you could take a kid like Deontay Wilder and throw in a lot of plyometrics, some long things around the 3 minutes. Those muscles have to be functional for 3 minutes, and he went in at 237 pounds from 217. They had the wrong. I wouldn't have gotten him bigger. I would have made him a
Now,
little more
coach.
explosive and a little more conditioning.
Now you said he runs his own camp, but I'm
I'm
Wilder.
thinking. I
I'm
don't.
no no
I
no
just don't think they
no
did
no no.
enough.
We just going with that hypothetical. I'm Wilder. You're
Mm-hmm.
Joey, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, bruh, that first fight, man, I could have knocked this guy out, but he was heavy, Joey. We in the clinch. I felt like he was stronger than me. So what
Mm-hmm.
would your advice be? Because I feel like that's why they bulked up. They felt like they was
Mm-hmm.
being manhandled in that inside exchange.
What?
So they like, let's put on
Mm-hmm.
some weight so that we could fucking, not be
Mm-hmm.
bullied.
So I would have opened his lungs up a little bit more, a lot more movement, a lot more movement. Remember, Deontay Wilder wasn't 237 when he knocked out 40 people. He was 215, 217. So that extra weight slowed him down. And if you watch his fights, when that muscle gets fatigued, the hands come down to the chest instead of being up by the ear or the face to protect yourself. And I don't, so you get a guy like that and you give him some gas in his leg so he could move and not be in the clinch. And if he was in the clinch, you push off, you push off and you move your legs. Everything starts from the bottom. So I would have had him in condition to get around that ring for 50, 60 minutes and engage, and you want to get around, because Tyson Fury was laying on him. But that means he was there to be laid on. You know what I mean? Like, my mindset would have been to keep them moving, keep them moving. We're not doing no stationary. We're not clinching. We're gonna
Now,
jab. We're gonna jab.
I was about to just ask that, but you see, so you're not talking about keep them moving in a strength and conditioning exercise. You're saying game plan should have been keep him moving. Now we're changing him though. He's not a
Oh yeah,
boxer.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a
Well,
puncher.
no. Well, I would have. No, my conditioning would have been to move. I would have did everything movement, and I would have probably did some stuff inside the square circle. And I'm talking about religiously, because the boxing take care of itself. My goal was to give him enough condition so when he decided to move, even if he decided if Tyson Fury is going to put that weight on him, that we had a session, a conditioning session where he had weight on him and he had to move. Everything is situational depending on the fighter that you're fighting, and that's how I do my conditioning, based on who you're fighting, what is the needed physical demand for that fight, because each demand changes depending on the person you're fighting. So I would have collaborated with the coach and said, okay, what's the plan? What is the plan? And that's what I do. If the plan is to box, then we got to get on some wheels and we got to do some things. There's always ways of getting the job done physically with these fighters. Everybody's trying to do the same thing, and everybody can't do the same thing because each fighter is different and is different situations.
You're actually, I hope, the perfect person to ask this, being as though that you deal with the physical body and you're involved in this sport and you
Mm-hmm.
competed against Devin Haney. Do you feel
Mm-hmm.
that Osterine had anything to do with the way that Haney looked in that fight? Or because again, you deal with muscles, right? Like I could come to
Mm-hmm.
you. I'm not saying you can facilitate this. Let me take that back. But I'm just saying, I'm sure there's regular guys every day that come to
Mm-hmm.
you thinking you can get them bigger or stronger that are
Mm-hmm.
not in a professional sport. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're not in boxing, I don't give a fuck if you take an Osterine, but how
Mm-hmm.
how much does it affect the human body? Do you know?
Well, remember this. Remember that everything is mental. If you got an athlete and they're on enhancers, automatically they're gonna feel like a fucking machine. So now we're not talking about just having a chemical
Oh
advantage.
wait. I do remember when Ryan said strong, strong, strong. So you're right. You're right. Knowing that you're
Mhm.
putting something in your body gives you mental confidence
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna be well confident to come in and do with no fear. That's one thing. I had this conversation with somebody else. I forget when it was, and I was saying that I said the advantage there's an advantage. It's always an advantage when you're doing something that's illegal in any sport. And I lived it in my sport of track and field. But when you come in and your mind is straight and you you know, coming forward and you're doing this, how many guys are going to do that against Devin Haney unless that's a part of the game plan? Because the kid can fucking box. So you coming in, that means you're going to be confident to take some punches because he's going to hit you. So Ryan, maybe this stuff, gave him that extra aggression. We never seen Ryan that aggressive. You never seen him. I mean, he throws a hook, but he was backing. He was
Coach,
coming.
coach,
He was coming.
that is, coach, that is a lie. We definitely seen Ryan Garcia that aggressive. That's absolute lie in the
I, I've,
travesty that
I've
you're
not.
telling.
I've seen
Which
him
fight?
aggressive,
Which
but
fight,
not like
Tone?
that.
Which fight, Tone?
I mean,
Not
I,
like
I
that.
was in LA with different colored of yams against Javier Fortuna. I was in the Staples Center when Ryan came
Oh,
out to
Fortuna
Tupac
is still
Shakur.
different.
Yeah, but you see, coach
Let's
is
not
saying, coach
let's
is
not
saying,
forget that
I'm what
Phantom
I'm all I'm
punch.
saying
yeah,
is
but
Remember
he's
that
saying you can't compare
it makes you
Fortuna.
aggressive.
He's saying you
It
can't
makes you
compare
aggressive.
Fortuna to Devin, though, is what he's saying. He's saying that's different. You know, Fortuna's a smaller man moving up, too.
Yeah, I mean, Fortuna
Hmm.
definitely didn't rehydrate the 25 extra pounds.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, well, Javier Fortuna is trying to survive. He was good when he was good, and a guy like Garcia, I do remember. I think I remember that fight. He just wouldn't stop coming. But come on, you're gonna come. But to all I'm saying is that when you on enhancers, they make you aggressive. They make you do what you need to do mentally. So you don't have no fear. You take a kid or an athlete who was a little afraid, to give him a couple of shots and he's ready to fight the world. So,
Wait,
it has its
coach,
advantages.
Ryan was one of the only ones that decided to walk Javante Tank Davis down. He got caught,
Absolutely.
but Ryan was there for the smoke. He was aggressive against Tank, and he was looking like a crackhead.
Well, the question was, I told him it's gonna make you aggressive. Now, a guy like Garcia, it'll make him more aggressive. He's already aggressive then, so it'll
Mm.
make him more aggressive.
Now,
It gives you a mental
edge.
advantage, or
Hell yeah,
physical.
I agree with you. But coach, let's play devil's advocate here. You've been a professional now in two different sports. Have you
Hmm.
dealt with contamination, whether personally, a friend, an athlete, a teammate? Because you did track and field. Like, have you dealt with contamination and how real is it? Because, these athletes all love to say contamination.
Well, listen, at that level, at any level, the Olympic level, the pro level, you got to know what you're doing. When I was competing, we couldn't even take fucking Tylenol. We couldn't do it. They had each year you get a banned list. We couldn't do that. Bro, I was pissed. They would come tell me to piss in a cup. I'm thinking, I'm not the one. I'm not the number one American. So you got to know what you're doing. You can't just take anything. You can't do it. It's not, I wouldn't do it. And I'm going to tell you something. Y'all might think I'm crazy. Y'all don't think I'm crazy, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Remember, Victor Conte is a mad fucking scientist, right? He got product, the snack product. Those products, those are legal products. They're legal. You can take that. And guess what? They're the top of the line. It's like this. If you go to GNC and you buy a multivitamin, right? With everything in it, and then go to your doctor and ask for a multivitamin and see the IUs that's in that stuff. Big difference. Big difference. So when you got a guy like Victor Conte, you better get on some snack. You better do it. Because the products are quality. It's quality shit. And it ain't on no ban list. A lot of guys are scared to do it. So,
Now, Coach,
but now we talking.
since you opened that door, I love Victor Conte and Snack. My co-host is obviously like the leading prosecutor trying to get Conte banned from boxing. I feel like, everyone's entitled to however many chances God gives them. If God can forgive you, we should be able to forgive. That being said, Vincent Conti had his issues and discretions, but since then, he hasn't committed any crimes or sins for us to criminalize him. Do you think that Victor is somehow giving his athletes banned substances that are going undetected, and he is bad for boxing? So it's a two-parter here because my co-host, Tone the Superstar, loves to try and criminalize him. I think that I've watched enough movies where the feds always bring in someone they caught because he was so intelligent they needed his assistance, right? And now he becomes an actual fucking cop or what, whatever it is that they want to label him, but he's being paid. Hackers all the time. We see this all the time. So, that's how I look at it. Like, this guy was so good, he knows how to catch everyone else.
Well, I'm in so many ways. Like I said before, Victor. Now, Victor Conti was the Balco leader. Those athletes were caught. And when you decide as a professional athlete, no matter what sport it is, these are things that you have to take in consideration. Consideration that Victor Conti was a part of the Balco deal, and some of the athletes, they blamed him. Then on the other hand, we got to say, shit, okay, I get it, but the product that he make, they're cutting edge, and they're on the ban list. So it's a personal decision, knowing that the consequence that and the speculation that's going to happen when you work with the country. They're going to blame. They're going to get blamed because this affiliation. But the man knows shit.
But it sounds like you recommend your athletes to take it because you're using words like cutting edge. You're saying he's got cutting edge.
The snack products are that. They're the top of the line product. If you deny that, then you're crazy because Victor Conti was a mad scientist. When those guys were getting caught on stuff, they never. I don't know if they got caught, but the stuff that it wasn't detected. So come on, man. You got to give whoever making this stuff is quality. It's on the market. You can't sell steroids over the fucking market. It ain't gonna happen.
So he has snack packs that are undetected. We don't know what's in these snack packs, respectfully.
you gotta give them the professional nod because of they're passing the test. Like the FDA has to approve all that shit. You can't sell no drugs over the counter.
That's
You can't
right.
sell drugs like
FDA.
that.
Tell them again, coach. Who got to approve it?
Yeah. The FDA has to approve that stuff. Unless if the FDA doesn't approve it, the product must have on the label FDA not approved by the FDA. So if it's approved by the FDA, you're not going to fail any drug tests. But some coaches and athletes don't do it.
Now,
I
coach,
think the
is
snack
it
products are good.
expensive? Is it expensive compared to your GNC products?
GNC is garbage.
Mm.
Okay, GNC products are garbage. They don't have the quality. Just go to the GNC, buy you a multivitamin, and then have your doctor prescribe you a multivitamin, and see the difference. It's a big difference, man. A lot of those vitamins you buy over the counter, you piss them out of your system. Also, the best vitamins you can get is fucking food, because remember, everything is processed. You got to put it in your system, and and you piss it out. You take a multi-pack, your pee is like fucking orange because of the content. This stuff is, some of you get, some of you don't. But a guy like a Victor Conte who knows what the hell he's doing, you're going to get most of that vitamin. You can, whatever they prescribe me, you're going to get it. It's going to be in your system because that's exactly what he does. He's a fucking scientist. It's proven, whether it's legal or legal, whatever, or illegal. He's done it at the highest level, illegally and legally.
Mm.
So people can say what they want. The man
Bud
has done it.
Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford uses snack and has been using snack, and obviously is gonna use snack to move up to
Because it's
168.
quality. It's quality supplements. I mean, when we get mad, we saw, oh fuck, Victor Continent. Yeah, you found out the man could sit there and be like, well, shit, my products are legal. I mean, yeah, what could you say? Shit, I talk shit about, get that motherfucker out of the man. We can't. If he hadn't been in jail for selling legal shit from the FDA, then you got to put the FDA in jail too.
Mm. Coach,
Because this
Coach,
stuff is on the market.
you was a long jump, a triple jumper, right?
Long jumper. Triple.
You
I
was a
did
long
triple, but I
jumper.
hated it.
How come track and field won't let Victor Bonte near the sport?
Well, because athletes blew the whistle on Victor. Even though they
Mm.
passed all the drug tests, they blew the whistle on Victor because he was supplying them with the product. That's true stuff. That it's there for the world to see. And Victor, I don't know. I think Victor Conte said it or whatever, but they don't want him in the sport just because of that reason. Because the stuff that he was doing was, man, it was next level. None of those guys failed any drug tests, but they told on Victor. That's what it was. They told on him. And the sport, the governing bodies, just like they banned him from the sport. That's real talk.
now, here's where my co-host gets it fucked up. I look at that as no different than any other man that convicted a crime and
Mm-hmm.
served his time. Now, there are plenty crimes that you can commit where they say you can't come back. You're banned from that area. That doesn't mean that the judge said you can't ever seek out employment. The man is in a totally different sport and
Mm-hmm.
following the rules. My co-host loves to make him still be the same person he was from the Balco situation. Do you believe in change? Do you believe Victor is still the same person he was, or do you believe he learned from the Balco situation?
I believe Victor Conte is a mad fucking scientist, no matter where he sit, no matter what happened. But he's a mad scientist. If you want a legal product that's going to help you, Victor Conte is the guy. That's what he's done. But it's up to the governing bodies to say, well, we don't want this guy. But he served his time, whatever time they gave him. I don't remember him getting any time. I don't remember any of that. All I remember is that athletes were coming out saying Victor Country was the main source, and all those fucking athletes benefited. They all benefited. So
So
Victor Conte
you
is a mad
sound
scientist.
like you're upset that they told on him.
I'm not upset. I mean, I'm not upset. They snitched on a guy who made them billions of dollars, and now they've definitely banned him from track and field, the sport that I love. I competed in that sport for 20 years, over 20 years, against athletes that were for sure doing things. If I would have did some shit, I'd have jumped 30 feet. For sure.
If you'd have had the snack pack, you ain't shit, coach.
Let me tell you something. Give me the snack pack in track and field of my day. I'd have jumped 30 feet. I'd have jumped 30 feet on them motherfuckers. Clean and passing the test.
Hey yo. Shout out to Victor Conte. But this is what I'm saying, bro. The feds bring in hackers every day. We got to make these guys part of the criminal justice system or they would whack us. So I just look at it like he's on the good side of things now, hopefully.
Yeah, he is. The only, listen, man, if you guys are way younger than me, when you go back and look at the 1988 Olympics, Ben Johnson was a scapegoat. Everybody in that race, Ben Johnson this. He ran 9.79. Motherfuckers are running 9.5 right now. Okay? And Victor, not Victor, but everybody in that 100-meter final years later was busted on drugs. Go back and look at the 100-meter final. Every man in that race was just busted except the guy from the Netherlands, I think. Every one of them. All 9 finalists. How about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And see, people don't remember this. I was a high school senior in '84 at the U.S. Olympic trials, right? And the '84 games are in Los Angeles. Carl Lewis won that race, right? You know who got third place? Ben Johnson.
Oh.
Ben Johnson was a bronze medalist in the 1984 Olympics. I met Ben Johnson in 1985 in the America's Cup meet in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
Representing Canada. So the sport, track and field, need to go ahead and just let everybody do what they're gonna do, and the best man win.
Yo, but coach, that's what people be trying to say now in boxing, man. If we just allow PDs, I mean, then nobody knows who's really the best.
You know what? I was talking to Zav Judah. That's who I was talking to. Look, let me tell you something. And this is I believe this boxing is a sport where you could be on some shit and still get knocked the fuck out. How about that?
Yeah. And that's why we can't let everybody get on something. We got to just get tighter with the testing. We need 365.
They don't.
But
it should be all year round.
Yes.
All year round testing.
Yes.
If you're in the top, in track and field, it was the top 15, top 20. At any time, you can get tested.
But how random was it?
And you got
because in boxing, if you're part of the WBC rankings and you are 1 through 15, you will be randomly tested by VADA and the WBC clean program. But there's not enough money. It's very random and not often. How often was it for you guys?
I got tested at least 6-7 times.
Out of competition?
A season.
Oh, a season.
Yes, out of competition. At least.
Wow.
And maybe more.
That's what we need. That's what we need. Like my co-host again, he loves Ryan. He is this is why it works, right? It's like God and Satan and God, right? Because he loves Ryan, I love Devin. And he just seems to believe that we should go straight into this fight with Ryan Devin, meaning Devin and Ryan next, without letting Ryan be tested. He's been out of the ring 8 months.
No, you fuck that. You can't. You got to live with him. You got to make every 2 or 3 days. You got to pop up.
Telling you, man.
Because listen, those are consequences of being a cheat. When you cheat the sport, those are the consequences that you have to provide legal clean examples, and you got to get it's random and it's frequently,
And that's
and
why
you
I'm
don't know when
pushing,
we're
coach.
coming.
That's why I'm pushing for him to
That
do
should be it.
365. Like, Canelo got popped. He's the face of boxing. What did he do? He did a hair follicle test. He admitted guilt.
Mm-hmm.
He served a suspension, and he got on 365 days so that fans don't think he's cheating. How is
Hey,
Ryan greater than Canelo? Like, do what Canelo did. Do what Valdez did. The people that pop, that's what they do. Big Baby Pop, he on 365 to prove to y'all, I'm done with that shit. I'm a clean fighter.
well, so that's up to the people. That's up to the organization. That's whoever who is it, WBC, IBF, all those sanction bodies. They got to put that in these contracts. If you hold one of our belts, if you fighting one of our athletes, or if you're in the top 15, no matter what sanctioning body is, you are subject to get tested. It's a fair thing to do for these athletes. You got to do it. Boxing, you get a guy that's fucking. It makes him more aggressive. He's strong. He feels more powerful. The mind is a fucking monster. You feel like that, and that means you can't get stopped. So you walking forward and you taking shit, and you hitting people harder than you hit before. Come on, man. That mental, it's more of a mental thing, and you could train longer. You could train longer. It's just one of those things where you got to test these athletes and you got to make them accountable. And the people that are providing it, they got to know too. Is shit. If they show up to the ring today and we done took a shot, we might get caught. You got to have motherfuckers on pins and needles, and that's how it was in track and field. You didn't know who was coming, when they was coming, and you had to. If you were getting ready for a season, if you were part of a training group, they send a list. They send a list to the coaches, and they send you a list of things that you could take and what you can't take every fucking year. So I lived it. So I know what I'm saying. I used to get pissed because I was like, "You motherfuckers, you need to go test somebody else. I'm not the guy." So yeah, it got to be more. It got to be more in boxing. Remember the situation with Cotto and Margarito?
Yep.
Crazy. Even though it was the hand things. So
Raps.
what about shit like that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's been accusations like that since then. Remember, Wilder had accusations of Fury, and
Mm-hmm.
the public had accusations of Bud and his busted gloves. We still get those things, but nothing to that level. No one has gotten caught with plaster of Paris like Margarito did. But listen, last one for me, Coach. How do you think Devin will perform moving up? It seems like when he and Ryan fight, it will be 147 from what Ryan Garcia said. Ryan is taking a 144, 143 tune-up. He's saying that he's doing that to give Pitbull a bone because he feels like, he's already small, so he doesn't want to also have the height and weight advantage. So he's doing a catchweight with Pitbull. Then the next fight is Devin at 147. How do you think Devin looks as a welterweight? And Ryan, how does he look as a welterweight?
I think we're gonna get a bigger, more comfortable Devin Haney, who's naturally is a big old kid. If you look at Devin Haney's body, he got big thighs, he got wide shoulders, and he got good muscle. So I think he's gonna do well at the 47, maybe even 54, because you got an opportunity to do some more, some physical things with him. Ryan is longer. He's taller. So I think we're gonna see a chunky Ryan Garcia. We're not gonna see like a ripped Garcia. We're gonna see him kind of chunky. But Haney's gonna look like
Now
a fucking monster.
this last fight, he was ripped and bigger.
He's big. No, I think Devin sucked down a little bit much in that last fight. He didn't look as big.
No, no, no. I
He's a
meant
big
Ryan.
kid.
I meant Ryan's fight versus Devin. He looked ripped and muscular. He looked good his last fight.
They both did. He looked good. He looked good. I think with the scrutiny going on, they're really not gonna know what to do with Ryan physically. I don't think.
Mm.
I think when you step up the testing, we're gonna see. But I think Haney is going to look a lot better at 47, for sure, and even better at 54, because the kid ain't got to worry about dropping down and coming up, dropping down, coming up. So I think it's going to be a better fight for him. I think he beats Ryan his next fight.
Tone.
Possibly knock his ass out.
Whoa.
You wildin' now, Chris. You wild.
Word. How
I'm trying to tell you what I know, man. I'm
How
trying
you
to tell
coming
you
up
what
with
I know.
knockout? How you coming up with knockout though? Like break
Because
that down.
because look, because now we're talking about the kid, and I've never shied away at giving Haney his props on his boxing skills. We're talking about a kid that's heavier, with boxing skills, and believe me, he's not coming back to the sport weaker. He's going to come back stronger. It's evident. Why would you come back
Coach,
and not be better?
But wasn't that the problem in the first fight? He was winning. The motherfucker tried to go for the knockout. He was trying to knock out Ryan.
Right. No, but Ryan was coming. Ryan was coming forward with no worries. Ryan was coming. Remember this. It's more. It's mental too. It's a mental warfare as well. And remember, these kids, they fought 6 times in the amateurs. So he has his number and he has Ryan's number. I mean, it's one of those fights where who's ever on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, how many times you gonna catch a kid like Devin Haney not protecting his face from a left hook that he know that's coming? You know what I'm saying? So he made some mistakes, and then Ryan did it. But I think this fight, I think Haney has a chance of knocking him out. If Haney backs him up, how many times you see Ryan go back? It got to be the game plan. Got to be strategic for Haney, and Haney's going to come in big. He's going to be coming to prove himself. He got to prove. That's going to be a mega fight.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be a mega fight. And Haney got some balls. He's not going to back down. He can't back down. He got to go in there and destroy Ryan. And the stuff that they're doing now is very crucial to whatever they're doing to build him up mentally is more crucial than the physical aspect of the game. So I believe they're working on that mental, and definitely the physical will follow.
How do you work on the mental? Because I mean, when we used to talk about mental in boxing, we used to make jokes and say that Anthony Joshua needed a sports psychologist. But it seems like more and more, fighters have come out with mental illness, and this is real. It's like you're saying, it's very mental.
Well. You create and I always got to use myself. When I was jumping at that level, we used to do 3 competition jumps from 10 steps approaching the long jump. My full approach was 20 steps. I got 3 opportunities to jump from 10 steps. Every fucking time I jumped 23 feet from 10 steps, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to go to the competition and jump 26 feet. It happened every time. So when you get a guy like a Haney, you got to create moments where he could punch hard as he can for 50 minutes, for 60 minutes. You get a kid like that, so you got to create those physical moments during the training camp.
So you think that's what you saw?
Fight.
Because we did see some heavy bag footage leaked of him and Nate Jones. Is that what you saw? What they were working on?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying what needs to be done for the psyche of the athlete. They have to experience that. They have to experience it in the training. There has to be where you're feeding that brain, you're feeding that ego. So when they step in that ring, there's no doubt. There's no doubt in his mind. And in this fight, we know what happened. That left hook, we got to create moments in the training camp where he is getting away from the left hook and he knocking motherfuckers out. You got to create that because the mind, even if you bring somebody in where you just fucking knock somebody out, guess what? That fighter got it in his head. You can brainwash them. You brainwash these athletes by physically doing it. You can do it because when you do it physically, you're doing it. You fucking doing it. If you hit the bag for 50 minutes, before Regis Prograis fought Cepeda, I had the motherfucker on the bag for 39 minutes. So guess what? My goal was to say, listen, you can fight. The whole round, every punch, every round, you can exert yourself because you're not fucking going to get tired. He knocks Cepeda out in the 11th round. So you got to find ways to do it. And a kid like Devin Haney, you get his mind right, but that size and that IQ, he going to fuck some people up, including Ryan. That's my take.
Tone, you got anything before I let Coach go?
Yeah, Coach. Who do you think is going to be the last man standing out of this tournament? You got T.O. Hitchens, Ryan Pitbull, Devin Ramirez. Is Boots in this? Oh, Boots Stanionis. They have like all them supposed to be fighting, and they're going to fight each other. Who do you think's the last man
Okay,
standing out of this tournament?
give me one by one. Let's go. Give me a fight, and I'll pick it. Who? Give me the first one. Who?
Rumored T.O. Richardson Hitchens.
I want to take that. To me, that's an even fight. I think Hitchens need to be a little more aggressive with a guy like T.O., but I'm gonna lean towards T.O. on that one.
Okay, Devin Ramirez. Devin versus Ramirez.
I think Devin wins that fight. So Ramirez is a come forward guy too. He throws wide punches. I think Devin comes down the middle and he wins that fight.
Ryan Pitbull.
That's like a slaughter in height and reach. But if
Right.
Pitbull comes in shape, he has an opportunity. I'm gonna pick Ryan.
All right, and Boots Stanionis.
I don't know. I can't even pick because people are not even giving the other kid, the boxer that Boots fought last time, any credit. He boxed. I think Boots has a problem with boxers. I'm gonna go 50-50 on that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know.
And
I
sound
think
like you want to say something.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Boots might have the talent to come out of that tournament as the guy to me, if he can get his mind right. What you think,
I think.
Ness?
Well, see, when you and he keep fighting boxers. He
Yeah,
can box it. Everybody he's fought can box. You know, so I don't know, man. Y'all gonna be surprised who comes out of there. Y'all see if I pick him, everybody be talking crazy what I say. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, you got a kid. You got the main names you mentioned. The people that have to prove themselves in that side is Devin Haney.
yeah,
Devin has
yeah,
to prove himself. And I believe that this Devin Haney that's coming back is focused and knows that he has to prove himself. He has the physical tools to do it. He has the upsides to getting faster and stronger. So I'm gonna go with the Haney. I'm gonna go with Haney
Ooh.
coming out of this thing. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but it's okay.
Coach, there's people
I
saying
do.
that Haney done whooped you into a fan.
No, I've always liked Devin. I've always liked Devin. I even reached out Devin years ago to work with him. Years ago. And he go back and look at his thing. I mean, I'm talking. I don't know when it was. I wasn't even Reeves wasn't even world champion at the time, and I wanted to work with the best. I reached out to him. I reached out to Wilder. I reached out to all because Wilder had one of my guys in camp with them, Dominic Gwynn. I was training Dominic at the time. Dominic was one of his sparring partners. I was like, I could help him, but I didn't know he had a strength coach in Joey, who kind of had the same background. But I've always liked training. I didn't just become a fan. I always want to work with the kid, and I'm just giving you facts. Like the upsides in that in this tournament, the upsides goes to a kid like Haney, who still is growing. He's still growing. He still can be bigger and stronger and faster. And then we got a kid like Isaac Cruz who came out of nowhere with his style and the relentless. If Isaac Cruz is not in shape, he's gonna lose a lot of fights because he likes to come forward. And in boxing, that shit wear you down. If you're not in shape, you're gonna be in trouble. So I think a kid like Haney could come out of this tournament.
Well, all right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and get to some other callers and talk about this alleged non-figures Canelo about to get for this
Oh my
Crawford
God.
fight.
Crawford,
9?
this Crawford
Okay,
last fight,
Canelo.
bro.
I think it's non-figure deal.
Listen,
I mean,
they make at least 300 million.
I still think it could be a 9-figure offer for Crawford alone
Yep.
because we seen that Usyk got like what 100 and something for Fight Fury.
Woo!
So why that's 9 figures, you know what I'm saying? So like
Shit.
why 100 and something million? So why can't Canelo get 100 and something million to fight Crawford plus another 100 and something million to fight David plus another 100 and something million to fight Better
Listen,
Bivol winner?
Oh, so you going 300
they give.
million?
Listen,
I'm saying
they
over
giving
300.
Crawford. Listen, Crawford gonna make about 150. Canelo gonna make over 200 million for the fight.
Yeah, for
Watch.
sure. I'm saying when he walk away from the deal, a 3-fight deal with Turkey Al Sheik is probably closer to 450, 600 million for
Yep.
Canelo when he's
Yep.
done with it.
Yep. I agree with you. Ness, I didn't know you was that big, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm tall. I'm tall.
Damn. Oh shit. You that's why motherfuckers be talking shit, don't know what they dealing with, huh?
I'm old though,
I hear him
Coach.
talking shit to you all the time.
Yeah, nah.
Oh shit.
It's all love. But Coach, let everybody know where they can find you.
I'm at Fitness by Tobler on Instagram and eTobler on X, which is Twitter now. Shout out to the Boxing Voice, man. I appreciate you all the time for having me on, man.
Appreciate
Big
you for
love.
jumping on, man. Thank you for spicing up the show. We needed that. But yeah, man, right now we are discussing, obviously, Turkey Al Sheik is giving Canelo a 3-fight deal. And during that interview with Evans Tobler, the news broke, according to Brunch Boxing, Eddie Reynoso had